Lok Sabha election 2024 has just entered its fourth and crucial phase. That's the halfway mark. With the completion of each phase, we have seen how political leaders, including the Prime Minister, are turning up the heat with all kinds of rhetoric, communal charges, slandering of rivals, and much more. What does it mean for the next stages of voting? Will the 400 seats mark remain elusive for the BJP? Is the opposition catching up? Welcome to Frontline Conversations. I'm Satvika Radhakrishna, and joining me today to discuss all of this and more is R.K. Radhakrishnan, Senior Associate Editor. So, does the BJP seem on track to get its 400 seats like it says in its slogan?
It doesn't look like. No party seems to be on track to get anywhere more than 300 seats at all, as a combine or as a separate party itself. So, if you look at the third phase, I think it becomes clearer and clearer only when the third phase actually ended and going by the numbers, the polling numbers and whatnot. So, in the third phase, we saw that 12 states and union territories went to the polls, out of which entire Gujarat went to the polls. The remaining part of Karnataka went to the polls. The first phase of Maharashtra polls have happened. Then we have had Uttar Pradesh 10 seats, Madhya Pradesh 9 seats, Chhattisgarh 7 seats, Bihar 5 seats, Assam 4, West Bengal 4, Goa 2, Dadar and Nagar Haveli 1, and Daman and Diu 1. Of this, the NDA in 2019 had about 81 seats, and the India Alliance, what is existing now, it was not an India Alliance at that point of time, had 11, and independents had 2, or other political parties had 2. That was the situation in 2019. Now, political experts are not really hedging their bets, but at the same time, they don't want to make the mistake of 2019. Even the very well-known people, they don't want to say that it is going to be a washout for BJP. At the same time, they also see a lot of things on the ground. They hope it converts into slender margins for the India Alliance in a lot of places, including Maharashtra, including places like Karnataka, where there has been a huge problem with the Prajwal tapes. Basically, this has been a sexual predator on the run for a very, very long time.
Yes.
Obviously, Congress knew it. Obviously, the BJP has known it. And it appears that the BJP has used this to gain an alliance with the JDS. And in September of last year, 2023, was when the alliance was formed. And in December of 2023 is when a BJP functionary actually brings this up and then writes to the BJP leadership saying that there is a problem. Now, after that, there has been no talk about this at all till the conclusion of the round 2 of elections in Karnataka. And as a result of that, what we see is that there's a large amount of shock among people that how can somebody, make 3,000 videos on his phone or whatever and abuse over 400 women, and how can it not go noticed at all? So this is the problem, and this is something that the Prime Minister also was forced to address. He in fact said that if Prajwal Ravanna is guilty, he needs to be punished. But he stopped with that. The problem there happens to be that Prajwal Ravanna has travelled on a diplomatic passport. The government of it's the government of India's bound and duty to cancel that passport. Now, this is the kind of campaign that has happened in the 14 seats in Karnataka, North Karnataka, where the Vokkaligas are not are nothing. They're not even a minority in the north of, and Vokkaligas are a majority in the south of Karnataka, where the elections were held without the Prajwal factor at all. Now you have a shocked audience reacting to allegation of not sexual misconduct, rape, and all kinds of things that you can unimaginable cruelty to women. And these women suddenly find themselves in the media glare, and their videos are floating around, things that they want to forget, things that they want to put behind. Unfortunately, this is not happening. So you see a lot of politics. At the same time, people are shocked and upset over what has happened, and one politician has been able to do this. So that will definitely affect the outcome in North Karnataka, where 14 seats are going to the polls. And also, these are seats where the BJP is swept. Swept as in there is not one seat for any other political party. Now, will this have an effect in Gujarat? Obviously not, because Gujarat seems to be a separate country altogether, which wants only Modi and Amit Shah. Interestingly, you will see that successive prime ministers, successive presidents have always voted only in Delhi because that is their natural place of residence. You see Narendra Modi, you see Amit Shah going to Gujarat and voting there and trying to pretend as if that is their natural place of residence. It is not. Now, how does this happen? I think the election commission has to, come out with an explanation. I belong to Kerala, but I am naturally settled in Chennai. Though I can have an address in Kerala, I can have my ration card in Kerala, I can have all kinds of proof in Kerala. Now that is not proof that I am staying there. That is not my natural place of residence. So it is very important for Prime Minister and of course the Home Minister show that they are still Gujaratis, and that is I think why they went to Gujarat to vote. They want that 26 seats very desperately, and they do not want a single seat to go out. Now, because of the Prajwal factor, this 14 seats in Karnataka are a huge question mark, and of course South Maharashtra again. Entire Maharashtra is up for grabs because now you have two Sharad Pawar parties, NCPs. You have two Shiv Senas. One is Uddhav's Sena, one is the Chief Minister's Sena, which is the Eknath Shinde's Sena. Then you have the BJP and the Congress. So it's up for grabs. Congress is definitely on the front foot. Congress is doing well in Maharashtra, but we don't know. With all these divisions, it's very difficult to say. But definitely, up ki bar, possibly 200 par, but not more than that for the BJP. Up ki bar, nearly 200 for the India Alliance. It doesn't look anything more for the India Alliance either.
All right. Okay, interesting. Now, moving on, has there been any major difference in campaigning this time around, particularly Prime Minister Narendra Modi attacking Adani and Ambani? Is that going to be a major issue that pops up?
No, yeah, absolutely. This is the major issue. Like, what has the Prime Minister done? You have seen the campaigning styles differ from the phase 1 to now. In the phase 1 of campaign, it was Ab Ki Baar 400 par, and the second one was Viksit Bharat by 2047.
Yeah.
He came to Tamil Nadu, called the DMK corrupt. He went to Karnataka and said that we have to finish off Congress. Congress has come only for corruption and all of that. You see the entire campaign so far. You see that the first phase was completely different from the rest of from the second phase and the third phase. It is only when the second phase started and CPM and other political parties have actually done a chronicle on this and have sent complaints to the election commission, where Modi has started talking about in Banswara, for instance, he talked about your wealth will be taken and given to Muslims, Hindu wealth will be taken and given to Muslims. Then he tried to gaslight Muslims again by saying something like, do you want to vote for Ram Rajya or do you want to vote jihad? And in the long line of utterances which does not really add any good thing to the Prime Minister, he does this. He attacks Adani and Ambani. Something, and what it basically says is that both Adani and Ambani seems to have settled with Congress, and that's why the Congress Shehzada is not talking about, referring to Rahul Gandhi. Now, you just need to fact check this one thing. It's very easy. Every single day in Uttar Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi has spoken about Adani. Actually, Adani more than Ambani. Of course, Rahul Gandhi's focus has always been Adani, because it is Adani's wealth, Adani's fortunes, which have grown massively because of the support of Government of India. We know this for a fact. That Government of India lobbied for Adani in Sri Lanka to get an energy sector plant, to get a port project and whatnot. And we know for a fact that this is completely linked. Adani's growth is completely linked to what the BJP has done. So obviously this is an issue. So why is Narendra Modi now trying to say that Congress is for Adani and Ambani? Because this resonates with the people. When he decides this, you have the blowback. What is the blowback? Rahul Gandhi has now gone and said something like, send your DRI, send your ED, send your CBI, send your IT to Adani and Ambani, and let's have a conversation. And Daromat, don't be scared. I am there with you. And then goes on to say, Narendra Modi created a few handful of these rich men. We are going to create a lot of lakpatis with our scheme for women and whatnot. So that video has actually gone viral across the country. So whether people have seen the Narendra Modi video or not of the public meeting, people have definitely seen the Rahul Gandhi video.
Okay, all right, interesting. Now I want to shift your attention to Mr. Sam Pitroda. What he has done in 2024. Is it what Manishankar Iyer did back in 2014, that is to say, put the Congress on the back foot? Like, what do you have to say about this?
No, these are completely two different things. Manishankar Iyer's attack was on Narendra Modi. And at that point of time, in 2019, Narendra Modi was a person who has delivered a lot of things. delivered on even demonetization was seen as taking away the black money from the country, cutting out all the middlemen, controlling fake Indian currency and whatnot. So the full effects of demonetization we come to know only later. So before the election, it was impossible to say that demonetization was a failure and demonetization was what has hurt the country in the long run. Nothing. We couldn't say anything at that point of time. And Narendra Modi was seen as the guy who was cleaning the entire system up. And Manishankar Iyer, a Brahmin, comes and attacks a Teli, Narendra Modi, and says something like "Neech Admi." That is the phrase which caught on, and that Narendra Modi completely banged on, and he started crying. I mean, this man has a range of emotions. He's the best actor that we have seen on a political stage in the first place, and we have seen that in interviews also, particularly places like Times Now and whatnot. So the same thing does not get repeated because Sam Pitroda has said something completely obnoxious and racial against all Indians. He has called people in the Northeast Chinese. In fact, that's a lie. This is a categorized offense. Legally, it's an offense to call people from the Northeast that you look like Chinese, and called all of us South Indians as black people. I think it's something terrific. I am particularly happy that he has called us black people. But then, see, he's trying to say that this is a diverse country, but then the words that he used were problematic. Now, this is not an individual attack. Because it is not an individual attack, it is very difficult to take this to the people. How do you take something to the people? Narendra Modi was attacked, or somebody like that was attacked. Now, unfortunately for BJP, it doesn't have a second person. It has not banked on a second person to be the vote catcher. Only one vote catcher, and that is the guy who has to be denigrated to take this to the masses. That was not done, and hence this thing of Pattam Baduva in Tamil, as in like generally speaking about somebody, doesn't really affect anybody. It doesn't carry any weight with the voters.
Right. Okay. Now, I want to, you mentioned the Northeast. I want to discuss that a little bit more. The Northeast, particularly Manipur, and vis-a-vis what's been going on there, the ethnic conflict that's been raging on for months, CAA. What impact do you think this will have on the BJP's performance in the state?
Nothing at all, because Assam is right now under the grip of this guy called Himanta Biswa Sarma. He wants to deliver to Narendra Modi the entire of Assam, the entire seats in Assam. So he's working very hard towards that, and it's a police state. This is a guy who sent a police force to Gujarat to arrest an MLA and take him to Assam for something he has said. So Himanta will go to any extent to try and please Narendra Modi because he has cases against him. I think that's the Sharda scam, one of the scams, chit fund scams, where he is considered a beneficiary, and those cases can go live at any point of time. Only because he's shifted parties and is now with the BJP from the Congress, those cases do not arise at all. So what he is doing with on CAA, for instance, imprisoning people, or on the Manipur issue, and again, Himanta has a huge sway on the entire Northeast. The polity of the Northeast. So I think political parties in the Northeast are not having this long, hard look at themselves to finally decide that they work for the people and not for the people in Delhi. Every single time there is a change of government in Delhi, it's almost like the colors in Northeast change, like that of a chameleon or flowers that touch me not or whatever. They change it completely and go to the ruling party in Delhi. I think polity generally and politicians in the Northeast have failed their people, and because of that one reason, the resonance of the on the ground in Manipur will not be felt as tremors or shock waves in Delhi, and the problems in Assam will not be reflected in Delhi or any other place at all. You will still have the MPs from the same parties, or you will have MPs from the same parties who support a different formation in Delhi only because that formation right now is in power in Delhi.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for elaborating so much on all these issues. That brings us to the end of our session. Thank you, RK, for joining us. Yeah. For more such videos, please subscribe to Frontline.